a lot of these red pill content creators or manosphere creators, which I have a lot of respect for a lot of them, but I do notice that it kind of seems like, I've said a little bit of this before, but it kind of seems like they try to pick stories of like anything that shows that they could be winning. So there's a lot of videos of females crying on the internet of why can't I find a good man, why can't this and that, blah blah blah. So like they'll pick those and be like, oh, we're winning. I don't know, it just kind of seems like they're doing whatever it takes to try to cope and find whatever they can to try to show that they're right. And I'm not gonna lie, like even when I say stuff, like some of it is like, yes, society is bad, but it's not just one side. It is bad both ways. It's bad for women too. It's bad for both sides. But and I get it. It seems like what it feels like is women have all the they have everything going their way. It feels like it's not equality. They have superiority. It does feel like that as a man, and it feels like we are hated on. It does. It feels like society hates men. It feels like society just wants us to come out here, do the dirty jobs, and then just go the fuck away. And there is this thought process of those dirty jobs don't even really exist. There is, or like, not that that doesn't exist, that they don't matter, that the infrastructure will keep moving forward if, we stopped picking up trash. Like, it'll just automatically, it's almost like the same thought process of people thinking that food just automatically showed up on shelves. Like, people actually thought that before 2020, when there was all those runs on the supermarkets. Some people actually thought like food just showed up on the shelves, like magically, That's what happens when you have people who are out of touch with reality. There's a lot of rich people that are out of touch with reality, disconnected from reality. And a lot of women here in America are rich. They are. They're out of touch with reality. When you don't have any type of consequences, when you're not held accountable for a lot of things in your life, when you can be bailed out easily, you're going to be out of touch with reality. You're not going to understand that it takes a lot of hard work from people who in these fields, like produce the oil, Mostly men. Mostly men do all these dirty jobs to keep this infrastructure going. And these women just think like, basically, like, some of, not all women, but some women think like, if we were gone, everything would be good for them. And they don't understand, like, if we all just like died at the same time, that so would they. Because a lot of women don't want to do the dirty work. They just don't. They don't want to do the dirty jobs. But there is some coping going on with the red pill channels, even my own, you know, like, because since women have invaded pretty much all men's spaces, we really don't have our own spaces, even the red pill content. To find people that can relate to you, that's what it's like tribalism, and people want to feel like they're part of something. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, like, and I understand too, where it's like, when you feel so hopeless, kind of like almost black pilled and everything, and you feel like blah blah blah, this ain't gonna go our way, when you get any, like, seem like little wins, people make a big deal about them. Like, I like Joker, but a lot of his stuff is what I'm talking about. Like I said, I like a lot of the red pill content. Most of them I don't really listen to anymore. Aaron Clarey is like, probably Aaron Clarey and Turd Flea and Monkey are the ones that I really even listen to, because they talk about economics too, man, and they talk about everything. But it's almost like with the red pill content, it's almost to the point where a lot of these creators, I like Terrence Pop too, but a lot of these content creators, it's like almost to the point where it's like, believe all men. You know, and just like how it's like the Me Too for the women, believe all women. It's almost like that for the men in these spaces. Because there is pieces of shit dudes that don't take care of their responsibilities. There is men out there that they don't want to support their kids. They don't want to raise them. They don't want to spend time with their kids, and then they don't want to pay child support as well. Like, my whole thing is, I think that when you split up from, when a family splits up, and it's a horrible thing when a family splits up, man. I've never been involved with a married woman when they are married and they're still together, you know, like she's cheating on him. I'm not saying I haven't been with a married woman, but they were like split up, you know what I mean? They were separated. They're doing their own things. He was with other people, she's, you know what I mean? But I've never broken up a marriage like that. That's just in my values. I don't want to, you know, some people have this thought like, well, she's gonna do it with somebody, might as well be me. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. I don't believe in that. I want people to work out. You know, when I see like a story like yesterday, some woman was complaining about how high rent is, and she's about to get divorced, and she doesn't know what she's gonna do, and she was saying that she was gonna pay the apartments, or wherever she's trying to go, like the whole year, and they said they still need 3 times as much as she makes, like proof of that, and she can't provide that. She feels like she's stuck. It's like, just try to work it out with your husband, man. You had kids, man. You have kids with this person, and seeing all these single moms on the internet is just like fucking sad, dude. Like, seriously, it's fucking sad. It's sad to go. I'd rather go onto the dating app and there'd be nobody on there, as opposed to seeing like all these moms in their fucking mid to early 40s with like little fucking kids, man. It's so fucking sad, dude. But it's when people go through a divorce, it should be 50-50. Like, that's what the judge should go based off of at this point. I get how things were set up in the past because society favored men and women got shafted. And I think that we're in this spot in society because of weak men. I think that men have been very immature in the past. Like, who started the hookup culture? Men. Women didn't start it. Men's the one that started that shit. Women are a reflection of men, dude. So this is why I say, you know, people, it's easy to blame women for everything, but women haven't really fucking changed, man. They want the best. They want the best that they can get out of a man. They want the best deal. And they only love men predominantly for what they can provide for them. Not unconditionally. That's how they wire. That's how they're wired. That's how they've always been wired. But men have, you know, and I'm not saying that every marriage, that's all men's fault, like they didn't work out. I'm sure that there are some times that the women just, you know, found another man, or it was just harder in the past to be able to. Didn't have access to as many people as we do now on the internet. So, like, I blame a lot of the problems on men because we're supposed to be the fucking leaders, man. So, you know, I understand why a lot of the laws are the way that they are. As you know, the woman should get custody and this and that, and I understand why things were set up, but things have changed, and those laws need to change too. That's the point. Is those laws need to change that so they don't favor the women no more. First off, women want to be treated equal to men. Okay, you want to be treated equal to a man? Fine. You get drafted too. But the judge should come in here with the thought process of, when it comes to custody and child support, the first thing that they should think of right now is no child support, 50-50 custody. Now, if one side doesn't have the time because of work, it could be either side. It could be a man or a woman to spend time with the kids. Perhaps, you know, that person moved to a different city, so they just don't have the time to raise the kids. So they can only spend time with the kids every weekend or something, or they just don't have the time. So the other parent has the kids most of the time. So yes, at that point there's child support that needs to be taken care of. They need to pay child support. But there's this thought process, it seems like, in a lot of these red pill content creators, that like it basically, and then no, they don't say this, but it's almost like men are always a victim. That's where it's like coming down. It's like, I think when a woman, unless they really picked a piece of shit, which could happen, I think most of the time, if two people split up, I think that like it's not what was I gonna say? Like the man's not always innocent in it. How they always portray it. Like when a woman tries to, I think a lot of the times when like women try to like get all they can out of a man, out of their finances and all that, I think that like the man has done something in the past that has scorned that woman to want to be able to be so vicious. And I'm not saying like it never happens for men to get screwed over royally, but he's either said something, done something to piss the woman off. And like I said, there is vindictive women where guys, they haven't done anything wrong, they've been the perfect husband, and she just got bored, and she's just that type of person where she wants to try to get everything she can. But there, it's not like every single time the guy's always the fucking victim, and that's how a lot of these spaces are portrayed. I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I know things are, I know things are getting bad for men, you know what I mean? See how much time I got. Okay, I gotta delete some of these videos so I can get some more space up on here. But yeah, it's not always, there's always like two sides to the story, and people need to vet people. People need to get to know people before like they get married or have kids. And don't ignore red flags. I've done it, man. Like, guys ignore a lot of things because of a woman's looks. They just do. A woman will ignore a lot of things because he's a little dangerous. He's a bad boy. So it definitely, like, things go both ways, man. It's not just like yes, women are horrible, but so are men. Men are horrible too. People in general are just horrible. We're human. We've lost values. And yes, It's going to get worse. Because the pain really hasn't come yet. We felt it a little bit. People are feeling it a little bit. If you don't feel pain and suffering, you don't grow, you don't learn. If nobody tells you the stove is hot and you touch it when it's not on, you're gonna think, oh, like when you're a little kid, you're gonna think, oh, it's no big deal, I'm gonna touch the burner. Well, that burner's left on and nobody told you that if you turn the stove on, it gets hot. Well, once you touch that, get hurt and feel that pain, you're gonna know, well, it's not always just gonna be cold. It's not always just gonna be room temperature. Sometimes, that could hurt me. And that's a harsh lesson to learn. A lot of people are gonna learn a lot of harsh lessons coming up. This is not sustainable. This society, the way things are going, it's just not sustainable. Having kids and then having somebody else raise them and thinking like your kids are gonna be mentally healthy. No. If you're gonna have kids, you need to fucking raise them. Oh, why is daycare so much? Because so many people use it. I guarantee you, if people raise their own kids and daycare the cost would go down. Supply and demand. And here's the problem. Here's the problem in society with all these conservatives telling us to fucking have kids. It's not financially feasible for most of us. People can barely afford to feed themselves when they're poor at my level. And these people are saying, go have a fucking family. Tucker Carlson saying, go have as many kids as you can. Dude, that's highly irresponsible. To tell people to have a bunch of kids right now, you gotta be crazy. You gotta be insane. This, what it is right now, it's dumb to have a kid. Dude, I'm so glad, like, my kids are adults now. I am so glad I don't have a young kid right now. It would be extremely hard to have a young kid right now. I couldn't imagine having a young kid. To have 2 incomes to survive. Man. Some people, if you have a family, then you gotta have all these side hustles. Like, dude, that's no way to live, man. That's no way to live. I gotta work my job. I gotta do these fucking side hustles just to be okay. Like, this is not a society where it favors family, where it favors tradition. In fact, this society hates the nuclear family. It goes against it. It goes directly against it. You want to know why mental illness is up and why it's so bad? Look at the fucking breakdown of the family, man. It all comes, that's the root cause. Nobody talks about that. Look how good society was in the past. And it had its problems. Yes, racism was fucking bad. If you take that stupid shit out, where you have systemic racism, and apply the family structure You take their family structure. That's great. I'm glad that there isn't systemic racism, systemic oppression of people based off of their race. I'm glad. I'm glad that was taken out. That was a horrible thing. That was stupid. But what was good was the nuclear family. The nuclear family is key to have a masculine role model. My kids are far more better off than I was. I probably shouldn't even be here right now. What saved me was my kids to make me more mature, and my ex-wife's dad. My ex-wife's dad was a huge mentor in my life, even more than my dad. My dad was busy raising my half brothers, man, by himself. Basically what I did. Said he had 3. He didn't have time for me. And he fought like hell to try to get me, but I always lived far away. You know? I always lived far away from him. So I really didn't have a masculine example in my life to show me how to interact with women, or just the example, not actually like show you and tell you. It's just like you see it going to work every day. My mom did the best as she could, man. There's only so much a mom can do. So, like, my son, man, my youngest one, he's a savage. He's a savage. Got a good head on his shoulders. So does my older one. Got a great heads on their shoulders, and they have a lot of wisdom that I passed on to them. Great examples. Great example for them. And that's what's lacking here in America. Good, strong father leaders. But yeah.